Baruch Hashem Yahweh, blessed be the name of Yahweh. Told about Abba Yah for this night, told about for allowing us to gather on this call, and I ask that you may open up my heart, open up our hearts, cause us to understand your word. And I ask that you may give me the words to speak, give me the wisdom now to understand, to bring forth the insight, the information in this discussion. And I ask that you may also help any of the other Akim bring forth any insight, any information that is beneficial for our lives. And I ask that we not just be hearers of your word, but ask that we be doers also. And I ask that you may forgive me, forgive us for any of the sins that we may have done in this life, even on this night. And I ask that by your mercy and by your power, that we may be forgiven. And I ask that you may cause us to love one another, for you are righteous Elohim who loves. And I ask that you may give us the strength to do what is right, for sometimes it seems difficult to do what is right. Now I ask that you may lead us and guide us into all truth. And please lead us to the path of righteousness for your name's sake. Let your will be done. Amen, amen, Selah. So be it. Shalom, shalom. So I'll be leading off the discussion. So I just want to share what the Most High put on my heart, and y'all will, I can go on this call can benefit from it. I wanted to start off with a question. What's something that you have created? It be something that you created this year or 4 or 5, even 10 years ago. What's something that you have created? You can raise your hand or unmute the mic. All right, what's that? Yahoo Naphtali, all right. Shalom.
Hallelujah. Shalom, shalom. All praise to the Most High. Shalom to you, Shai, Shemar. Again,
Shalom.
to the brothers on the call. It's good seeing you last Shabbat as well, my brother.
Quiet.
Amen. Yeah, just on a, I guess on a physical level, right? I just want to thank the Most High for over just the last year with the help of my brother Onam. We were able to create, our own business. It felt good to kind of step out there on faith a little bit and try to go into business for ourselves and do something different, but something that we created, something that we started, something that's our own, and I thank the Most High for that opportunity. I yield, Torah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, do we have any? All right, so I have another question. A question two.
Abadal had his hand up.
Oh, okay, yeah. Adon Abdal, do you have anything you want to?
Oh no, I just want to answer before the brother, but I have some problem in the mic, but it's fine. I'm talking without. Give
Okay.
me the other one.
All right. Okay, so the second question. Would you say that you are responsible for what you create? Are you responsible for what you create? Is the second question. All right. Don Eliezer.
I would say no. The Most High is ultimately responsible for provision, but I am responsible for my participation and effort in what He has provided.
Okay, different perspective. All right. Anyone else? Oh, okay, Shlomo.
Hey, Shalom Akim. Just to kind of, I guess, kind of play off of what E just said, just in a different perspective, I would say yes for conversation's sake, because just like E said, Yah, he provides, but, Yah
Right.
created. And so Yah is responsible over his creation. And yes, we play a part in, our part in that, but in I guess in a spiritual way, or just also, I guess you can look at it as being a parent,
Oh yeah.
you play that role in quote unquote creating. Yah creates, but you play that role in it, and therefore you're responsible for what you, i.e., created. So I yield.
Dang, total buck. Okay. All right. Sorry, Yohanan.
Shalom, shalom, Hakeem. I'm gonna go off with both of my eyes, Shalom and E. I would say told yes because anything that I create, anything I put together, the Most High give me the resource to put these things together. So anything I say, anything with mankind, anything we do that we create, the Most High give us the resource and stuff to create these things. Because without the Most High, we can't do it our own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang, total buck. We got Yirmiyahu Naphtali.
Yeah, so I just kind of just provoked a thought in my mind when he was speaking. So I rebut for that as well. So, and I would say, of course, we always have to consider the Creator, the Most High. And I just think about creation as well, right? And in the creation story, Bereshit, the Most High had these thoughts as far as things that He wanted to create, and He spoke things into existence. And I even think about, as mentioned, going to business, was a thought in my mind, and Yah just Yah put the pieces to the puzzle together for us to be able to execute those thoughts that we had, and now it's a reality. So I yield with that. Torah.
Dang, total buck. You just directed us to where I was going to go. Bereshit. So Bereshit, chapter 1, starting at verse 1. Again, Bereshit, also called Genesis, chapter 1, starting at verse 1. And it reads, in the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth. And the earth came to be formless and empty. Darkness was on the face of the deep. The spirit of the Ruach of Elohim was moving on the face of the waters. And Elohim said, let there come to be, and light came to be. And Elohim saw the light, that it was good, and Elohim separated the light from the darkness. So I had this precept because the Most High, He spoke. He said, let there be light, and there was light. And that word for said is Strong's H55 9. It's Amar, and it means to speak, to say in one's heart, to intend. So I see that as like the Most High, whatever He says comes to pass. And I'm going to tie it in with us. So I'm going to go to the same chapter, verse 26 and 7. So it says, and Elohim said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, over all the creepy creatures that creep on the ground. And Elohim created the man in his image. In the image of Elohim, he created him, male and female. He created them. So since we're created in the Most High's image, we do have certain traits and characteristics, attributes from the Most High. So the Most High can speak. He has words. We have words also. And He has also given us a portion of His power. So, of course, we're not on the same scale of the Most High. However, He gave us a portion of His power. And I thought about, using words. We can use our words to do a lot. For example, we can change the atmosphere in the room, the emotions of the people in the room by saying one word. We can take it even further by speaking a sentence. And sometimes, it can be for better or worse. Sometimes we can say something that's hateful, cause people to be sad, cause people to be angry. Or we can say something, that can, you know, uplift someone who may have lost hope. We can say encouraging words, you can do it, but Yah be with you. I'm going to support you. And that can uplift the spirits of those who are brokenhearted, those who may be fearful, those who may be faint-hearted. So I also wanted to go to Bereshit chapter 11. Bereshit chapter 11, starting at verse verse 1. Verse Genesis 11, starting at verse 1. It reads, and all the earth had one language and one speech, and it came to be, as they set out from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said to each other, come, let us make brick and bake them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and they had asphalt for mortar. Verse 4, and they said, come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower whose top is in the heavens, and make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered all over the face of the earth. Then Yah came down to see the city and the tower, which the sons of men had built. And Yah said, look, they are one in the people, and they have all one language. And this is what they began to do. And now they are not going to be withheld from doing whatever they plan to do. Come, let us go there and confuse their language, so that they do not understand one another's speech. And Yah scattered them from there over the face of all the earth, and they left off building the city. Verse 9, that is why its name was called Babel, because there Yah confused the language of all the earth, and from there Yah scattered them over the face of all the earth. So the reason I chose these precepts to tie into the lesson is because that same word is used. So in verse 3, where it said that word amar, which means to speak, to say, in one's heart, to intend. So as we can see here, these people, they were made in the image of the Most High, his likeness, and they have a portion of his power. They have the ability to speak, and they also have the ability to create with the words. They said, let us make brick, and they had brick. And they said, let us build a tower, and they had a tower. But of course, the Most High stopped them before they can finish their task. So we have to be mindful for what we create, because the Most High confounded the language. He judged them because of what they created. So they were responsible for what proceeded out of their mouth, which was their words, and they created this idea of building a tower up to the Shemayim, or the heaven. So I applied this same concept to the times we're living in now. So we have the ability to speak. The Most High has given us a breath, life. We can walk around the earth. We can do whatever we want. However, you know, the Most High is going to judge us. He's going to look upon us. So whatever we do, he can see it. He's going to place a judgment upon us, whether it be good or evil, based on our actions. And also, so I wanted to go to where I recall Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17 and 18, one of my favorite precepts. So again, where I recall common called Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17 and 18. So it reads, you shall not hate your brother in your heart. You shall in any wise rebuke your neighbor and suffer not sin upon him. You shall not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of your people. But you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yah. So this is also one of my favorite precepts. And I was going to focus on the word rebuke. So that's going to be Strong's H3198. And the word is the cop. And it means to rebuke, to correct. So in this precept, with these precepts, the Most High is telling us what to do with our words in this context. So when we rebuke someone, it's like we're putting them back in their place. The intent is to get them back on track. And this is powerful because the Most High sees it fit that we are capable to do this. And there's a way, we have to use wisdom in all things. There's a season when you should do things, but he has given us the ability to do this. And one thing I thought about when it comes to rebuking someone is that they're not always going to receive. They're not always going to receive, but that doesn't mean that our words were in sin. So I wanted to ask another question. So based on what we covered so far, can you think of a situation where you use your words for righteousness, however, it didn't turn out the way that you thought it would? Think of a time where you used your words for righteousness, but it didn't turn out the way that you thought it would. The situation probably even got worse. All right, Sariana.
Okay, I'm gonna use this, and I probably most everybody on this line guaranteed, man. When we first came into this walk, and we got around the family members, and we trying to, teach them and show them what the things they doing are wrong, but we didn't do it in a humble way, and it brought the
Right.
situation out worse than bringing them in and bringing them out. Because I was guilty there at one point, and then one more Baruch had to talk to him one day, and he gave me some wisdom how to handle a certain situation when you're talking to family, trying to bring him to the Most High in His Word. But that's one situation on my part, and I yield from that.
Kane, total about. Yeah, so from Loya for the insight. From my experience, I experienced that even before the walk. You know, people would ask me questions, they would ask, okay, what do you think about this? Am I in the right, am I on the right path? Would you do this? And I would give them my honest opinion. And a lot of times I would get backlash for that. And before I was in work, it did discourage me a lot from, speaking my mind, even when people ask for the honest truth, the truth. And then once I got to the walk, reading the scripture, I could see, okay, I can't be discouraged because the truth has to be brought forth. So even if it seems difficult to rebuke someone, you know, it's powerful, words are powerful. As we just read that we can create, with our words. We can, take someone can be in the most, I would say, happiest time in their life. When we can say something that is hateful and bring them down, you know, or vice versa, someone can be in the lowest point of their life. We can say something, we can help uplift that person. So, I put in my notes, we can create peace or chaos with our words. And I thought about how riots are started. A lot of times that people say things, it starts with communication a lot of times. A misunderstanding. People are angry with something that someone said or a group of people said. And then, everything breaks loose. People start killing each other. It gets crazy. So I think it's extremely important to be mindful of what we create, with our words. And the Most High has given us His power. We can't be, I would say, ungrateful, or we can't be foolish with the power that the Most High has given us. I would say it's a privilege to have life. There are many people who, are not alive on this day, so they can't speak it even if they wanted to. But us being men on this call, even throughout all the earth, men and women, we have the ability to speak. We can create peace, chaos. We can create lies. We can even promote the truth. Okay, so we got a hand. Don't slow them. Yeah.
Can Aki. It was just something that came to my mind, and I'm in total agreement with everything that you're going over. So, Toda Rabah for Yehovah putting this word in your mouth tonight, and you creating this thought process in us. But I definitely agree that the words that we use are used to create, but I would say it even goes goes back to first your thoughts. And I believe this is something that Maurice Samat, taught on a little while back, that our thoughts conceive, our words and our actions. And I would say it will start with a thought. It will go to a word, so that in a way is creation there. And then that will create an action. And like I think you had brought up intent before, and all circles around your intent. If you have righteous intent around the thing, and you can see that in your mind, and you bring that out, you could have a positive outcome. Now, yeah, sure, initially it tells you a soft word turns away wrath, and also not to rebuke a scoffer. But then also, if your intent behind something is negative, then you're going to have a negative result, and you're creating that. But it all starts in your mind, and it's manifested through the words that you speak, and it will lead to an action. So I'm in total agreement with what you're teaching on tonight, Aki. Total Rabah Ayu.
Yeah. Total about going back to that point. It starts in the heart because people, they can say things that may seem unrighteous or vain, but when you talk to them, they'll express the intent of their heart, and you kind of see, okay, this is the righteous fellow, this is a righteous sister. So total about for bringing that out. Okay, more Samant, you have something you wanted to bring out?
Yes, sir. Shalom, shalom, Adon. Good presentation tonight. And shalom to all the brothers. Application is going to be key to a lot of things. Just to your last point in thought, and Shalom already touched the point. You was asking, have you ever said something and you might have been saying the right thing or intending to create shalom or something good from your words, but it turned out to be negative based upon who was receiving it. And like Shalomo just brought out, the scriptures tells you not to rebuke a scorner or a scoffer. It tells you not to answer a fool in his folly. And just from my experience, I found that a lot of times when I thought I was creating or trying to help someone heal or trying to give sound counsel or advice or wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from Torah, while not actually applying everything that's written in the Tanakh, sometimes I made a mess, and it even made a bitterness within me. I created a bitterness within me from overextending myself to trying to reach certain individuals that fit a certain script or certain personality or characteristics of someone I'm not even supposed to be sharing words with. So, and so sometimes when we're trying to create a shalom, we can still be causing more of a problem, even when we're saying the right words. We just might be saying the right words to the wrong person at the wrong time. And when the time is right, then we can present it. But if they're in the state of rebellion, they're in the state of scoffing or mocker, then you just have to learn when to pull out. Now, I've seen that every time that I've tried, it's like in my heart, I'm like, man, I really love this person, so I gotta try to reach him. And I continued, and it made it worse and worse and worse. And the only thing I was trying to let them know is I love them. But no matter what you said, no matter how kind or humble, no matter if you compliment them, no matter what, they still look at you as evil because of where they were in their ruach. So it's also, the Creator's word is what's going to teach us how to, because we can't really create without, as everyone already said, without Him bring forth the resources. But if we use the proper application of the resources, we'll know if what we're trying to create will be successful or not, based upon us following the instructions. So I yield. Good presentation.
And total Rabah, all praise to the Most High, yeah. But before I go to the next chapter, I want to share something that I saw. I believe it was on YouTube or social media. It was this psychologist. I believe he was a professor, but I also believe his studies was in psychology. And he was talking about the power of words. And he said, I believe he went to I don't know if it was some type of event. I guess it was like poetry or something. And there was a guy that went up there, and he told the people to give him like a few words, like topics to rap about. And they gave him like 3 names of people, and I think a situation. And he was rapping about it, and he formulated a whole scenario just using the words, random words that people gave him. And he was explaining how most people can't do that. And he was talking about how most people who are well off, these politicians, people that own banks, and basically the people that are well off, they send their children to school, but one of the main things that they do is they put them in communication classes because they understand the power of words. And he was saying that people that have a hard time communicating, they're going to find life harder And the people that can communicate efficiently and use their words, they can excel in different areas of life. But that doesn't mean when they excel that they're going to use that power for righteousness. So it goes back to what I was saying in Bereshit, we're responsible for what we create. So if someone goes to school for communication, let's say they get good at, you know, uh, talking about politics or good at bringing customers, to a specific company or whatever, okay, then, that's all right. But at the same time, though, we're responsible for what we create. And the Most High has, like I said, the Most High has given us His power. And because if you think about that, the Most High that created the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that in the midst, He has given us the ability to do what He can do. Not on the same scale, but He has given us a portion to do what He can do. So, we have to really meditate on that. A lot of times we say, being a light, being a light, what does that mean, be a light? The Most High has given us a portion of His power. So, meditating on that concept, we have to, try our best to do what He can do. So, of course, we're not going to create, the heavens and the earth is already created, but we can create, we can bring the shalom back in the situation. We can uplift those who are brokenhearted, those who are lacking understanding. We can use our words, our communication skills to help direct them. So we don't have to, do as what the world is doing. I think most people are using I would say their power, because most High gives them the power, for the wrong reasons, And I think a lot of times though we're not taught, growing up, how powerful our words are, because one thing I noticed, before I go to the next chapter, um, there's people that, they were talking about high school, right? And these people were in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, right? And they would still get frustrated and probably even sad with things that people said to them when they were in high school. These are people that, like I said, 30s, 40s, 50s, even, above that. So just think about that. Something hateful that someone said to you, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40, years ago, and you're still hurt by that comment. That's power. Because you think about when someone gets punched in the face, of course it's gonna hurt, but I think that might be worse than someone just day after day, hateful comments, just kind of tear you down, but I also heard people say, the opposite. I heard people say, you know, positive things that people said to them, whether it be at high school or at a job, and hey, this person said this to me when I was young or when I was in school, and this helped me out, and I still remember it this day. Even speaking, for myself, I do remember, hateful things that people said to me, throughout my life. Me being in the walk, I try not to meditate on it, but I also remember a lot of the positive things, that people said to me in my life. Even, once I came to the walk, I remember a lot, what people said on studies like, the men's study, even the Shabbat services. I remember things that people said. I even remember the personal conversations that people had. So, those people that use, the words, their communication skills, their power to say these negative things to people, they created hatred, they created low self-esteem, they created animosity, hatred, all these things they created, and the people that used it for the right reasons, they created shalom, they created understanding, they created love, they created brotherhood, even women's sisterhood, they created friendships, they created, all these positive things with their words. Going back to Bereshit, the Most High, He created, created life, created mankind. So, we have to be mindful of what we say. And I wanted to go to, was it First Samuel chapter 25? And I believe most of us, most of us on this call should be familiar with this. If not, it's a good read. So First Samuel chapter 25, starting to verse 1. First Samuel chapter 25, starting to verse 1. Before I get into this chapter, did anyone have anything else they wanted to add? All right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read. So starting at verse 1. And Shemuel died, and all Yisrael gathered and mourned for him, buried him at his home in Ramah. And David arose and went down into the wilderness of Haran. And there was a man, Maon, in his work in Carmel, and the man was very great, and he had 3,000 sheep and had 3,000 goats. And he came to be shearing his sheep in Carmel. And the name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife was Abigail. And she was a woman of great understanding and beautiful, but the man was hard and evil in his doings. And he was a Caleb. And David heard in the wilderness that Nabal was shearing his sheep. And David sent 10 young men. And David said to the young men, go up to Carmel, and you shall come to Nabal and greet him in my name, and say, long life and peace to you, and peace to your house, and peace to all that you have. So I want to pause right here and just take a moment to see what David said. You know, he said, long life and peace to you, and peace to your house, and peace to all that you have. So from my understanding, he's using his words the proper way. You know, he gave them in a charge, hey, when you go to Nabal, say this. So he's using his words in a proper context, I would say, because he is a man of the Most High. And going to verse 7, now I have heard that you have shearers. Now your shepherds have been with us. We did not put them to shame, and not a speck of theirs was missing all the days that they were in Carmel. Ask your young men and let them inform you. So let my young men find favor in your eyes. When we come on a good day, please give whatever comes to your hand to your servants and to your son David. And the young men of David came and spoke to Nabal according to all these words in the name of David and waited. But Nabal answered the servants of David and said, who is David, the son of Shai? The servants who are running away from the masters have become have become now have become many nowadays. And shall I take my bread and my meat that I have slaughtered for my shearers and give it to men coming from who knows where? So as we can see here in the ball, for whatever reason, I guess evil in his heart, heart in the heart, whatever, he returned him evil for good. So in this situation, he created hatred, he created animosity, he created negativity. So Melly Daweed, he sent blessing, he sent shalom. He came with a positive mindset. And the ball, he returned that with evil speakings, So he's responsible for what he created. We're going to see, as we can, we're going to see how it plays out for those who do not know, the whole detail of the story. So verse 11. Verse 12. And the young men of David turned around on their way and went back and came and reported to him all these words. And David said to his men, each one gird on his sword, so that they each girded on his sword, and David also girded on his sword. And about 400 men were with David, and 200 remained with the baggage. And one of the young men informed Abigail, the wife of Nabal, saying, see, David has sent messengers from the wilderness to greet our master, but he scoffed at them. But the men were very good to us and did not put us to shame, nor did we miss any item all the days We accompanied them. We were in their fields, and they were a wall to us by night and day. And all the days we were with them, feeding the sheep. And now know and see what you should do, for evil has been resolved against our master and against all his households. And he is too of a son, Belial, to speak to. So because of Nabal's, his harsh words, his hateful words, he created hatred, he created animosity. In doing so, he brought, wrath upon himself. And I would say also on his men as well. So as we can see, we're responsible for what we create. And just imagine, you just say something out of your mouth, and he probably had no idea that Dawid and his men had swords just ready to come down there and take his life. So because we have to really think about these things. Because sometimes, we say things and we get caught up in the words, or we get caught up in the moments, using our words. But we have to be mindful. Everyone, we don't know everyone, because we can say something to one person, they'll let it, okay, I don't like what you said, forget you, I'm gonna go my way. We can say something to another person, and that person can, who knows, get a weapon, come after us, or who knows what else, bring 5 other people with them. Or who knows, that person that we say something against, they can be a manager at a company, make our life worse, So we have to be mindful of what we said, because not only can we bring, hardship upon ourselves, but we can also bring the hardship on those around us. So we have to be mindful. And keep in mind, there was no, from my understanding, there was no, we use the term beef, so there was no beef or animosity or hatred between Dawid and Nabal. There wasn't a problem between Dawid and Nabal until Nabal opened his mouth. When Dawid opened his mouth, he was speaking, positive words. He was trying to, I would say, create a bond, some type of friendship, some type of alliance with Nabal, because they needed help. However, Nabal, in his mind, he thought, okay, well, why not create, animosity? Why not create hatred? So, yeah. Oh, who's that? Saki. Yirmiyahu Natali.
Hallelujah. Torah, Opa, Shai, Shemar. Excellent job as well. Man, this portion of history, just the lessons in it, right? I just think about, just even to your point, our brothers out there that may be in the streets like that, right? And how many senseless murders and deaths have come about because of things that people may have said and how they may have responded to certain situations. Even with Nabal's situation, right? Think about that. Even if you want to provide for Dawid and Dawid men who've been watching over his flock and over his substance, just striving to do the right thing, he could have responded differently, and Dawid's anger per se would not have been so upset with him that he wanted to go ahead and get his men and try to go do some harm to him. But then also on the flip side, Torah for his Abigail, the Isha of Nabal, because that would have been, in my personal opinion, sin on Dawid's part. Because even though Nabal said these things to him, that didn't give Dawid the right to go and take this man's life. So it's just a lesson that we have to make sure that we respond with wisdom, and that we are responsible with the way that we react, even if we are offended by somebody that may say certain things to us that we may not agree with or don't like. We still have a level of responsibility to uphold Torah and uphold righteousness. So I yield.
Kane, Torah, great points. Well, yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna pick up in, what is it? Verse. Like I said, I believe many of us know this story. If not, like I said, it's a good read. So I'm gonna pick up at verse 18. It says, then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 skins of wine and 5 sheep, and made ready 5 measures of roasted grain, and 100 clusters of raisins, and 200 cakes of figs, and loaded them on donkeys. And she said to her servants, Pass over before me. See, I am coming after you. But she did not inform her husband Nabal. Verse 20, and it came to be, as she rode on the donkey, that she went down under cover of the hill, and there were David and his men coming down towards her. And she met them, and David said, Only in vain have I protected all that this one had in the wilderness, so that not a speck was missing of all that belonged to him. And he has repaid me evil for good. Verse 22, let Elohim do so and more also to the enemies of David, if I leave one male of all who belong to him by morning light. So as I said before, not only did, Nabal's words bring, I would say, wrath and judgment upon himself, but also he's talking about all the men, all the males that were belonging to him. So just imagine that, we have to consider, and not always in a negative sense, but, we can say something, positive to someone, right? And for example, that we're a part of, groups or assemblies, and and we can say something that is positive, to someone, help someone out, give them words of life, help uplift them, give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And they can say, okay, I remember you. And that we get, being a part of the group that we are, okay, that person is a part of that group, so there must be some good in that group. So it's not always in a negative sense, but unfortunately, in this chapter, this is in a negative sense because David and his men, they made up in their mind that these men, Nabal, Nabal and these men, they're going to get dealt, you know. So, like I said, it's unfortunate, but it doesn't always have to be in a negative sense. Like I said before, going back to Bereshit, well, we are responsible for what we create. And also going back to Eleazar's point, uh, the Most High created us. So I would say that the Most High is responsible for us and the animals. And that's why he continues to watch over us. He helps us. And that's why he's always, that's why he's in charge, because he is responsible for us. He created everything that we see, the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all of them in the is. So he is responsible. That's why, he gives us correction. He gives us provision. So I'm going to pick up at verse 23. And Abigail saw David, and she hastened to come down from the donkey and fell on her face before David and bowed down to the ground and fell at his feet and said, On me, my master, let this crookedness be on me. And please let your female servant speak in your ears and hear the words of your female servant. Please let not my master regard this man of Belial, Nabal, for as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name, and folly is with him. But I, your female servant, did not see the young men of my master whom you sent. And now my master, as Yah lives, and as your being lives, since Yah has withheld you from coming to bloodshed and from avenging yourself with your own hand. Now let your enemies be as Nabal, even those seeking evil against my master. And now this present, which your female servant has brought to my master, let it be given to the young men who followed my master. Please forgive the transgression of your female servant. For Yah is certainly making a steadfast house for my master, because my master fights the battles of Yah, and evil is not found in you in all your days. So going back to Leviticus chapter 19, where it talks about, rebuke, I would say this is a form of rebuke rebuke Abigail rebuking Dawid. I would say it's not a hard rebuke, but I would say rebuke can come in many forms. And what she's doing is she's getting him back on track. So she's using her words. She's trying to bring back the shalom. She's trying to bring back the peace. She's trying to bring the people back together. Because when Nabal said, he brought, what is it, 400 men, including Dawid, on the road, gonna handle business, take the lives of him and also the males that were linked to him. So in a sense, I would say she's a savior in a sense in this situation, because I know oftentimes though, because I heard, one sister say that, a lot of times we don't see, the women in the scriptures really doing things, but here we have a woman, I would say in a sense, you know, saving, her husband and also those men. That's powerful. So I'm gonna go to let's see, let's skip, so I'm gonna go to verse 29, and it says, "If a man rises to pursue you and seek your life and the life of my master, and has been bound in the bundle of the living with Yah, your Elohim, then lives, then the lives of your enemies, he shall sling out as from the pocket of a sling. And it shall be when Yah has done for my master according to all the good that he has spoken concerning you and has commanded you to be ruler over Israel. Do not let this be a staggering, stumbling of heart to my master, that you have shed blood without cause, or that my master has saved himself. And when Yah has done good to my master, then remember your female servant." This is what Dawid said in verse 32. Dawid said to Abigail, "Blessed be Yah Elohim of Israel, who sent you to meet me today, and blessed is your good taste, and blessed are you, because you have kept me this day from coming to bloodshed, and from avenging myself with my own hand. Nevertheless, as Yah Elohim of Israel lives, who kept me back from doing evil to you, if you had not hurried and come to me, and not a male would have been left to Nabal by break of day for certain." So that's powerful. So he said if she didn't come, so I know this is the English, but it says, "Who has kept me back from doing evil to you." So I would say, she was gonna get judged as well. But then again, it could be in a sense that Nabal was, her and Nabal, they were married, so they were part of the same house. So if he does something to Nabal, that's also evil upon her. But going back down, he says, for certainly, there wouldn't have been a male left to Nabal. So, she didn't tell her husband what she did when she left, but when she left, she had a positive mindset. She went with the intent to bring back the shalom, and that's what she did. She brought back the peace. And oftentimes, though, I remember on the men's call, we discussed this a while back, because I know we say shalom, means peace, but there's more to it. Shalom is paying, a debt in a sense. For example, I do something, most I forbid, I do something to a brother, I break his car, I break his windshield. Okay. I say sorry, is the shalom restored? It depends on the heart of that brother. If he's okay with the window being broken, but from my, research according to Torah, it would be my best intent, to get some money together, fix his windshield, or give him something of value that would be helpful to get that window fixed. So how she brought, was it grain clusters? She brought 100 loaves, skins of wine, cakes of figs. And she put all these things on the donkey. So in a sense, she was repaying the debt. But I believe also it was the power of her words. I think that's what really did it. And verse 35, then it says, Dawid received from her hand and what she brought him, and said to her, Go up hence in peace to your house. See, I have listened to your voice and have accepted your face. So I'm gonna read that again. Verse 35. And Dawid received from her hand, from what she had brought him, and said to her, Go up in peace to your house. See, I have listened to your voice and have accepted your face. So that's powerful. So he accepted what she gave him, like I talked about, paying the debt and restoring the shalom. But he also said he listened to her voice. So going back, Mosai said, "Let there be light." Of course, she didn't say, "Let there be shalom," but she explained to him, the situation and explained to him his position, and explained to him who the Most High was and what the Most High can do, and that directed him back on the path of righteousness. And of course, he didn't avenge. And, like I said, many of us know the story, but the Most High did take Nabal's life. He placed judgment upon him. And this goes back to the point that I made in the beginning. We are responsible for what we create. Nabal, he created wrath, animosity, hatred, and in Mishlei, does it say that the Most High, he hates discord between brothers. He hates it. So that's what Nabal did. Dawid, he went with good intentions. He said, okay, these people needed help. So he sent, he said he sent his men to go in shalom, to go in peace. He didn't tell them to go say anything negative, nothing, you know, nothing hateful, but Nabal returned to him evil for good. So the Most High hates that. So the Most High took his life, and of course, we know that Abigail, became Dawid's wife or his Isha. So, we definitely don't want to be in that situation, where the Most High has to deal with us because of our words. And I think about what if, he just would have, tried to be righteous. I would say try to use his words for positivity, like Yirmiyahu said. How many people died, because of their words. So this is it's a powerful chapter. Last year, this has become one of my favorite chapters because there's a lot going on within the chapter. And what I took from this chapter is just, with the revenge. But for this context, it's more with the words, the power of words. But like I said, we have to be mindful for the things that we say, for the things that we create with our words, because our words are powerful. And like I said before, we can either create peace or chaos. The Most High has given us the ability to make a choice, but whatever choice we make, He's going to place judgment upon us. So before I go to closing precepts, does anyone have any points or any comments that they wanted to bring up? I know I said a lot.
And shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. It's okay, it's a dope.
Just wanted to say I think you're doing a wonderful job and continue to move in positivity and strength. Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, Total Rabba. Praise the Most High, yeah. All right. So for the closing precepts, I wanted to read Tehillim or Psalms, chapter 34 and verse 13. For my research, this Tehillim was by Dawid. So this is Tehillim or Psalms chapter 34, verse 13. It reads, Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. So Dawid, he understands, the power of words. He understands, that it's not good to have evil on your tongue. So he's asking, well, and he's explaining in this precept, you have to keep your tongue from evil, and your lips from speaking deceit, because that will get you caught up. The Most High will place judgment upon you. Like I said before, the Most High has given us, the ability. It's a privilege to speak. It's a privilege to do the same things as our Heavenly Father, as our Abba. So we have to, show Him a level of respect. He has given us word in his image and his likeness. So we have to, try absolute best with all of our heart, with our soul, with all of our might, to use our words, to use our tongue, to restore shalom, to uplift those who are brokenhearted, for healing, for deliverance, for correction, And also wanted to bring out Tehillim, or Psalms chapter 141, verse 3. Again, Tehillim, or Psalms chapter 141, verse 3. All right, and it reads, "Oh yeah, set a guard for my mouth, watch over the door of my lips." So in this Tehillim, in this Psalms, David, he's asking the Most High, to put a guard over his mouth, a guard over his lips, to keep him from saying something that will be displeasing to the Most High. So he understands, the power of his words. So he's asking for guidance. He knows that, I'm pretty sure he knows he's flesh. He knows that people make mistakes. So he's asking for the Most High's assistance. He doesn't want to get caught up with his words. I'm not sure if this happened before or after the Nabal situation, but I would definitely say, he was wise in saying this. And the last one I want to bring out is also in Tehillim. And I believe this is a known precept. I believe many of us knew this even before we were in the war. So this is Tehillim, or Psalm chapter 19, verse 14, and it reads, "Let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be pleasing before you, O Yahweh, my rock and my redeemer." So this is a powerful precept, and it goes back to what Adon Shlomo said. He was talking about the heart. So in the beginning, he says, "With the words of my mouth," and it says, "and the meditations of my heart be pleasing before you, O Yah, my rock and my redeemer," because it starts in the heart. Because going back to Bereshit 11, when the people, they were, using the bricks and building the tower, what was in their heart? Was it righteousness or was it evil? And going back to Nabal, what was in his heart? Was it righteousness or was it evil? And he spoke against David, a man who returned to him, who gave him good, who didn't do anything evil unto him. So I give all praise to the Most High for allowing me to share, what he revealed unto me, and also to the Akim that brought forth their points. And just, in closing, I would say, based on what the Most High revealed to me, I thought, okay, I have to be more careful of what I say, and I also have to do more. Because I've seen situations where I would even just have a short conversation with someone, and that would help uplift their spirit, uplift their ruach, And sometimes I would just say, just share just, something that I may think is small, and I would give them a better understanding of, the Most High's word. And like I said, even, there was times where I thought I was doing, the right thing, past times, but, times I could have been, a lot better, a lot more careful with my words. So I give all praise to the Most High for what he's revealed unto me and what he has revealed unto us. And open the floor to the Morim, the elders, if you have any comments, and also to any of the brothers, the Akim, to have any comments, any points they want to bring out. All praise to the Most High Yahweh. I yield. Yeah, zone of a dog.
Yeah, shalom, shalom, shalom. Told lesson. Yeah, when you was talking about everything, come to me, Psalm 127. I say, it doesn't matter what we build, or what we do. If the Most High is not in the midst, it's a mess. It become to be like a Babel tower, Yeah, you can be one, but if Elohim is not in the midst, it's nothing. It's in vain. even the words, when we talk, when we say things, uh, like I say, it's a lot of information. I don't told me your lesson, Have a shalom.
Yes, Lord. Oh, yeah.
Shalom, shalom.
Sure.
Hallelujah. So I just wanted to say that it's always encouraging to hear from the younger brothers who have something to offer, because you all are also Yah inspired. It just doesn't come from the elders or just one range of group of men that say that they have a connection with Yah. Yah said that he gave Adam a certain form of intelligence. And so it's good and clear to see that Yah's giving you a certain type of intelligence, and you should be encouraged and motivated to continue to move in that fashion. And so it was great to meet you this past weekend face to face. But I also want to keep you encouraged to just continue on your road and your journey to serve this Creator, and what He brings before you. Just eat it all, and just become who Yah mandated you to be. Sila.
Oh, yeah. For the encouraging words, wisdom. Oh, yeah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. I just want to build upon the thought that Kohen Zadok just put on the floor. It's definitely good and an inspiration to see you younger brothers bringing forth the word, and just you in particular, how you are studious, and just watching your walk, how dedicated you are to the Most High, and it shows by your understanding and your presentation. And as Kohen Zadok said, it also, sometimes when you're in an elder state or you've been bringing forth the word, any man that's truly seeking the Creator will be able to receive any word from anyone that's coming from the word of the Creator. And sometimes it humbles us, or it gives us things to think about that we might not have thought of, or it puts us back, in alignment also. So it's just good to hear someone else present the word. And whenever you do hear one of the younger Akim coming up, we're hearing a fresh word from the Most High to our ears, from your perspective. And it's humbling, what I'm saying? It should be humbling to those that will receive. Now, I've heard some elders say that they can't receive from a young man, and I don't even see that in the text, when, most of the time the younger men were the ones that were still taking forth the charge, and won't get into all that. But I just want you to stay encouraged, stay studied up, and we'll definitely be keeping you in prayer. That the Most High will guard and protect you, and put a guard over your mind, your thoughts, and your mouth. So just continue to push forward. I just would just for an encouragement, and just everyone has their own presentation style, how you present. And so just get comfortable. I know sometimes when you're presenting, as I stated earlier, and as Kohen Zadok has said, it doesn't matter whom you're presenting to, present with confidence, because you know what the word of the Creator says, you know what He's giving you. So just still present. But sometimes, just from experience sake, and I just want to share this with you, in your presentation, sometimes know your audience. And if the audience is going to be quiet, then you just present. So I know that you see a lot of us sometimes, we do the open floor style and we ask questions. But if you're going to have a dead silence for a period of time, I've seen some people get discouraged with that, because they feel like people are not participating. So sometimes don't gear it to, I'm going to ask questions, because if that silence may throw you off and may make you lose your courage. Just present your presentation and present, and then you can open it for questions. So when you see some of us do that, it's because we've been doing it for quite some time. So whether someone responds or not, we may know how to rebound and move forward, which you did well tonight. But I'm just saying, sometimes when you don't have the participation, or it may be a silence for a moment, you get discouraged. And I've seen even elders today still do that. Like, they will start, and if it's silence, they get the sweaty face and like, oh, where do I go from here? So just don't always, just because you see others do the question ask style, that you have to do it that way. Just make it your own style, you know what I'm saying, and go forward with it. But if that is a style that you want to attempt, then know if the participation is coming kind of slow, then say, okay, I'm going to adjust and just go forward with the message. And then if at the end you can ask, and of course, we're going to always give you a voice of support. And because you are younger presenting to us, a lot of times we don't want to get involved because, you know, I know Kohen Zadok probably started to stay quiet as I do Zokain Malkiyahu, because sometimes if we get out there, we say too much, we might get ahead of your lesson. You know what I'm saying? So we want to hear from you. We want you to get your comfort. You're presenting to us, and we're going to be here to support you at the end. And that's why a lot of times we will stay quiet. You know, we do expect the other brothers to participate, but sometimes we're remaining quiet because we don't want to get ahead of your lesson. We don't want to seem as if we're taking your lesson over. We want to hear the presentation. So just, you did a great job either way. You know what I'm saying? You did a great job. Just a little nugget that I'm putting out there. So keep your confidence and continue to push forward, Adon. May y'all continue to increase in you.
Again, total buff for the encouraging words and Copeland wisdom. Oh yeah.
Hallelujah. And I just wanted to say to my brother Maurice Samad, very powerful words, and Toda for bringing the clarity. I think that was very powerful. I pray that our brother Shemar would receive those words because they were great words. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Toda is okay. Toda, hallelujah. Go ahead.
I'm not nobody's okay. Zarkane. When you reach me to 70, then I'll be the Zarkane. Right now, just Zadok or Coin Zadok, but not Zarkane.
Hey, Kohen. Hey, we go. Hey, hate to go a little bit world, but 50 is the new 20, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Don't be putting me in that zone right now. Just wait till I tell you, y'all bless me to get to 70, then you can put me in that bracket. But right now, I'm still your brother. I can still run around the corner. I can do all of that. And some of our Queen Neem at 70 can do that. So I appreciate the love, but don't put me in that bracket right now. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Understood. Hallelujah. Back to you, Shai.
Yeah. Don't slow-mo. You have the floor.
Kane, shalom again, y'all. Shai, hallelujah for your life. Toda Rabbah to Yehovah for, using you as a vessel for his Ruach to speak through. I think it's very interesting that you brought up this lesson tonight, because I believe that it brings a synchronicity between this and the lesson that Adon Abadal taught on the Shabbat day, especially considering you were down there in South Carolina. You weren't up at True Light or on the Zoom. That just shows that the Most High is speaking through his Ruach. I just pray that, you know what I'm saying, we all, take this lesson to heart. We take the portion that is for us and us alone, and that we, move forward with this wisdom that was brought forth tonight. So again, Toda Rabbah for your words and allowing the Most High and his Ruach to speak through you, Adon. I yield. Toda Rabbah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't see the lesson, but all praise to the Most High for tying everything together. And total buff for your life too, man. The Most High continue to bless and keep you. Oh yeah. All right. Does anyone else have any comments before we close out? Any comments or questions or anything?
Yes, I do have one last thing to say. While we're on here, 'cause this is a men's study and a men's discussion. I just thank all the brothers for tuning in, from Kohen Zadok to Zokain Malkiyahu, and just all the brothers that tune in. But whenever elders and everything tune in with us to take the time out. But I thank all the brothers, that's on, that tunes in, because it's supporting, and we supporting one another, and it's encouraging. But Shalom, I thank you for your words that you spoke to your brother, you know what I'm saying? And y'all please keep each other encouraged, keep each other encouraged. And I'm just gonna share coming in that a spirit or ruach that none of us should ever have, there's a time and a season for everything, and and people are laboring to do certain things. But just from my experience, coming up, there was people that was my friends coming up, and then they were my friends and close brothers when we was first coming up. And then when the elders started putting me in a place to start doing certain things, the friendships changed because of what you don't want to see. You don't know what it is at the time, you know what I'm saying, because you're young. You don't really know what it is at the time. But then, when you have elders or, some people start telling you, well, it's just a little jealousy. We should never be jealous one of another. We should be supportive one of another because it's all about the creator. No one who's presenting a message is ever about them. It's always about the creator. So it's never about the one that's presenting. I mean, the person that's opening the door is just as important as the person presenting, because we're coming together. So I appreciate you, Adon, for giving the words of support. And y'all please pull in and support one another, man. Just give each other encouragement because, Shai's not going to be the only one presenting. You other brothers are going to be presenting at some point too. But I just want y'all to know to have that encouragement and don't feel like you're not seen also for other young Akim. We will want you to present sometime, but it's just a process sometime. And right now we know the brother is diligent. He's steadfast. He's consistent. He's doing what the Most High calls him to do. Not saying anyone else isn't. I'm just going from my experience coming up, how it was, and I don't want that to happen between any of the Akim. Our mind should always be on the Creator first and foremost, in anything that we do in any capacity. If it's just reading the word, the reader is actually the most important one, not even the presenter, the reader. Because if you're presenting the word and you have a reader, you might present something wrong. You might say something wrong, but that reader is reading the word of Yah. So we just get together and we just read the word. Yah's will has been done. You know what I'm saying? So just understand it's not about a title or position or who's presenting. It's just about us doing what the Most High do. And we gathering together in the name of Yah to esteem the name of Yah through the vessels of Yah. And with that, I say shalom. And I love you all, my brothers. Shalom, shalom.
King, total about for the encouraging words, insight, and the instruction. And we'll continue to bless and keep you. Right? If we don't have any more comments, any more questions, we'll go ahead and lead out Tefla. Total about to all those who took time out today to get on. May the Most High continue to increase us and strengthen us. May He keep us on the righteous path. All right? All hearts and minds clear. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Blessed be the name of Yahweh. Baruch Halam, King everlasting. Total by Yahweh for allowing me to bring forth the words, the information that you have given to me. I ask that you may increase me and please give me a willing heart to do your will, to do your will only. And I ask that it may please keep me far from evil. And I ask that I will never fall into pride or idolatry, selfishness. And I ask that you may strengthen all the argument in this call. And I ask that you may lead them on the path of righteousness for your name's sake. The things that we need, the things that we struggle with. And I ask that you may bless us all with the desires of our hearts as we continue to seek you. And I ask that as far as sins, I ask that we may be forgiven. For your mercy endures forever and ever. But I ask that we would not take your mercy for weakness. I ask that we would not see your mercy as a license to sin. And I ask that you may watch over the Akim that are on this call, even those who are not on this call, even their families. And I ask that we're able to wake up in the morning, broker, and I ask that you may give us the strength to handle what we have to handle, our responsibilities, and I ask that we will live for you and you only. And I ask that you may please continue to build your people up. Many of your people are broken. Maybe they were hurt during childhood, or maybe hurt by many evils of this life, the evil of this captivity. But we know that you are strong and willing Elohim, and I ask that you may heal your people. And I ask that there will not be one weak man among Israel. And I ask that there will be not one weak woman among Israel, even a weak child. But I ask that you may build Israel to be strong and courageous. And I ask that we may be able to be the light that you have commanded us to be. I ask that we may be a wise, understanding people. And I ask that we will not be a wicked and unintelligent people, foolish people. But I ask that you may please continue to give us wisdom, knowledge, understanding of your word. And please give us a strong, willing heart to do it. For your word is life. And I ask that we will put it in our heart, and I ask that we will never cast that aside. I ask that you may accept this tefillah, this prayer for being your will, for it is your will that shall be done. Blessed you are Yahweh, blessed is your name, Yahweh. Blessed is he who comes in the name of Yahweh. May and may, so be it. So
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Selah, Selah. Shalom, shalom.
Selah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
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 All to brothers.
Brother, too.